Guys, so welcome back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys all of my anticipated reads for this year, 2025. I told you guys back when I did my, what was it called? My reading goals for 2025. My TBR was going to be extremely short because I struggled with that last year. I also told you guys I had a lot of anticipated reads for this year, and normally it's not like that because y'all know I like to read like the backlist books, but this year in particular, two authors that are my all-time favorites came out with books, and it has been years since they have came out with a book. So now all my anticipated reads they have come out, and I want to share them with you. Some of them I have read and some of them I have not, and my goal is to read them this year. But yeah, I just want to share them with you. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So altogether, I had 7 anticipated reads. So the first one was Daniel Black, Isaac Song. I read Don't Cry for Me and absolutely loved it. I did a reading vlog. I really enjoyed that book. I would say out of Daniel Black's catalog, so far Perfect Peace is my favorite. I've read 3 of his books, and he now has become an automatic buy. But when I saw that he was going to do Isaac's story, it just made it even better. And I'm like, oh yes, I have to read this, because if you have read Don't Cry for Me, oh Lord, the stuff that goes on in that book, especially when the father, he talks about his childhood. Now, I have not read this. This came out in January. I have not read it yet. Like I said, all these books I plan to read this year. I don't want to wait. I want to read them this year. And it does not look like it's a long book at all. Um, and again, like I said, Daniel Black he is a goat to me. So next is Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria Christopher Murray. This came out in February. And y'all know Harlem Renaissance is my ish, okay? Love everything about that time, in literature and music and just art, everything. And I was so excited when I found out that Victoria Christopher Murray was doing a book based on Jesse Redmond Fawcett, because if you guys have seen all of my Harlem Renaissance content, I talked to you guys about Jesse Redmond Fawcett and how she was my favorite, and how she is my favorite female author of the Harlem Renaissance. Her writing is just unbelievable, and I am so glad that I was aware of Jessie before, Victoria Christopher Murray really put her on the map. And the good thing is, I'm so glad that now she's getting her praise and recognition. I also did a reading vlog on this, and it's got a lot of drama and tea. Y'all know, love the drama and tea. And girl, the situation with her and W. Du Bois, and you guys watch my reading vlog of this. In my reading vlogs, I never give spoilers. I just read, some passages so you guys can kind of get a gist of the reading. But y'all, I had a ball reading this. And as you can see, tabbed it. And this cover is just so pretty. This is worth like displaying in the library, which I do need to display it because this is just such a pretty cover. Okay, that was what, February, January. Next was March, and in March, 2 of my favorite authors of all times came out with books, and y'all, okay. Now, the crazy thing is, I've only read from my 2 favorite authors. I've only read one of them, which again, like I said, I am going to be reading, these this year. Okay, so here are the 2 authors: Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie and Bernice McFadden. They came out in the same day. Now, Bernice McFadden introduced me back into literature, so she will always have a special place in my heart. Again, automatic buy. If she comes up with a coloring book, I will be getting it. Now, I'm gonna have to say though, when these books came out the same day, I did get Chimamanda's first, and then I think on Friday I got Bernice McFadden's. Okay, here's why. So with Chimamanda, this is a literary fiction book. With Bernice McFadden, it's a memoir, and although, like I said, love Bernice McFadden, my favorite of all times, I'm not really a fan of memoirs and nonfiction. It's not my ministry. But I'm like, again, I don't care what she writes. I want to, read it. But I did see an interview with her, and she was reading this book, and the way that she read it, it came off like a fiction book. And she did say in that interview that she wanted it to come out like that. So I think I am going to enjoy this thoroughly. Now, this I also did a reading vlog on this, and I would say Okay, y'all know African literature. One of my favorites, one of my favorite African literature authors of all time is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. It's because of her I started reading African literature. It's the first book she has written in what, 10 years. So it has been a long time coming. And I would say super excited, still excited. I would give this book a 3 star. It and it's heavily literary fiction, which I do love. I just wanted a little bit more of one character, which is Sakura. But like I said in my reading vlog, her situation, what happens to her, like it's I hate to say normal, but it's not shocking. Because I thought if you have read the short story called Sakura that she did with Amazon Shorts a couple years ago, it was a cliffhanger. And basically that whole story that she did for Amazon Shorts, it was in um this book. You got a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of the aftermath. Because I was waiting for more of that, but then, like I said, what happened to Sakura it happens to a lot of women every day, unfortunately. But yeah, overall, I would really recommend this book. Again, if you like literary fiction, this is heavy on literary fiction. You get 4 point of views. It reads like short stories. And Chimaranda's writing is just fantastic. So loved it. As you can see, tapped it to death. But I would say it's not my favorite of hers. My favorite still is Americana. But again, Chimamanda, anything she writes, I'm getting it. And then again, Firstborn Girls, like I said, they came on the same day. This is a memoir. I am excited to read this because I do want to know more about Bernice McFadden's, personal life, how she got into, writing, and just again, like her personal life. I know I'm a huge fan of her literature. I've read all of her fictional catalog. Have several copies of them. Some of them I've read them twice. One of my favorite books by her is called is Praise Song for the Butterflies, and that's the last book she came out with, which was in 2018. So it has been a minute. I still am waiting for a fiction book, okay? Because her fiction writing, if you want a good story, pick up all her books. Oh, I can't even tell you all of her books, okay? Her debut book, Sugar, doesn't read like a debut book. Like if when people ask me, oh, what book should I start with hers? It's almost kind of like you could start with anyone and it's just gonna be bomb. I probably would lean towards Sugar because if you want to be introduced, and see how she writes, it's an introduction of her writing. But if I'm being honest, if you pick up any one of them books of hers, it's just a win. So yeah, again, really excited to read this memoir. April, I just had one anticipated read, which is this Wild and Wrangled. This is the Rebel Blue rant series. I got this on a whim, y'all. I was inspired by TikTok last year. I did a video saying like TikTok books that influenced me, and these were just on. People were talking about them, right? And y'all know last year I was on a heavy kick of romance books. Like I really got introduced to a lot of romance last year, and I kind of wanted to step out a little bit of my comfort zone because y'all know I like to read our books. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I like some of the terminologies that some of the white authors use is kind of like we don't say that. So again, no shade, but I like our stuff, right? But I said, you know what, let me step out of my comfort zone, let me read it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I read the first book, I had it, and I said if I like it I will continue to read it, continue with the series. And I liked it so much, you guys, where if you read the first book in the series, you may like wait maybe a couple of months or something. When I finished that first one, I went to the store and got the second one, and then got the third one. This one was released in April. Got it. This is the last one from the series. It is 4 books in no, it is yeah, 4 books in total. And I think the reason why I do like it, the men kind of got a little swagger. They kind of give you a not as heavy as y'all know Tommy from Power. They kind of give you a little bit of that. Not as like Tommy, but they kind of give you that little aspect. And I said that's probably why I like it. I really did like these. I can't wait to see what this one is going to entail. It's the last book of the series, so yeah. Okay, so that was April. Next is another romance book, and it is Breaking Point by Yahrah St. John. Now she is the one why now she is the reason why I got really heavy into romance last year because I read this book, Frenemy Fix Up. Now I'm gonna be honest, this is not just like a oh my goodness, it was a cute little story. And after I read it, I said, you know what, I kind of want to read a little bit more romances because I really did like it because y'all know I read heavy stuff, like heavy, heavy stuff. But that is a part of a series called is it the Six Gems or something like that? This series, there are standalones. And the one that I read last year for the first time is the one, two, three. It's the fourth book in the series. But again, like I said, you can read these as standalones. The first three I might get, but the reason why I wanted to get these, first of all, like I said, I really did enjoy this, and I wanted to know what was going to happen with the other girls. But also, these are re-releases because she was a independent author, but now she's been traditionally published. Also reissued, these books. The other three, they haven't been reissued, and yeah, this is real silly, but I want them to match. So yeah, I have the other one too that I haven't read. It's called Going Toe to Toe. It came out last year. And these are Harlequin novels. They're under Afterglow. The Afterglow books are relatively cheap. They're only $12.99, and that is cheap for a book, okay? And I have a couple of the Afterglow books. There, it's a publication. I have a couple of their books and really do enjoy them. Again, $12.99, so love that. But yeah, cannot wait to get into this. Lastly, for May, I am currently reading this book, y'all. It is Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. I got this last Tuesday when it was released. Did a reading vlog on the first and second book in this series. And y'all know I read Before I Let Go like 2 years after. Because y'all know I don't like to read. I don't like to read stuff like when everyone reads them. But after reading that, I went right into reading This Could Be Us, which I thoroughly enjoy. That's probably so far, that's my favorite in the series. Soledad is my favorite. This did come out this month, and I am reading it this month because I really want to know about Hendrik's story. Also, this is the last book in the series. I started this yesterday. I got to page 54, and so far really am liking it. Just from the 54 pages, though, I'm gonna have to say, I think This Could Be Us is still my favorite because if you read This Could Be Us, it got so much drama in the beginning, like the way it starts with Soledad and Edward. This one's kind of like, it's real slow. You got, Hendrix, her mom is, dealing with Alzheimer's, and, we're kind of dealing with that right now. It's a little sad. Ain't no tea right now, ain't no drama. But again, I'm only on page 54, and this book is like, what, 400 and something pages. So yeah, can't wait to get more into the nitty gritty of it. Love the cover. I just love these covers of the Skyland series. And yeah, like I said, can't wait to get into Hendrik's story and see what's going to happen. So yeah, guys, that is it when it comes to my anticipated reads for 2025. I believe I am done. There's nothing else that I just like really wanted to read. And this year, like I said, is the first time where I have so many books. But the Black authors, they have been writing. I got to give them to them. But yeah, guys, that's all I have for you, and I'll be back with more Black books.